Going ahead, this resource management is somewhat related to projects also. So in case if we want to use resource allocation, we can check these particular check boxes, wherein on the projects we can define what are the resources that would be used on a particular project. That can be done, and there are various suite apps available related to resources. So in case if we want to install that, that can be installed. Similarly, going ahead, in case if we want to use multi-language, okay, on the set preferences, also on the chart of accounts, we had seen that we can define various other languages, right? So in case if we want to use different languages, we can check this particular checkbox. Similarly, multiple currencies, okay, multiple currencies. So in case if we are dealing with multiple currencies, USD, euros, INR, Singapore dollars, Australian dollars, in that case we can check this checkbox multiple currencies. Once this particular thing, multiple currencies, has been enabled, it cannot be disabled again. Is that okay? Are we okay till now?
Yes.
Project management, to an extent, it is part of standard module, but there are some multiple, or you can say some preferences, they are part of advanced module or paid module. Okay, so the resource management, or in case if you want to go ahead with the advanced project profitability and other stuff, then they are not part of the standard projects. Okay.
Okay. So you will cover that module, project management?
Project, not really, but in case if you want to go through that, we can go through that. We can take a 15-20 minute session on the projects if required. Just
Okay.
remind me in the coming sessions. We can go through that if required. Okay. Going ahead, currency exchange rate integration. Okay. So what happens is, in case if we are using multiple currencies, NetSuite has an integration with two forex data providers. One is Zignite and the other one is Refinitiv. Okay, so these are forex data providers. So what NetSuite does is, there is an integration. So every day the NetSuite fetches the exchange rate. Okay, and depending on that, whenever we start entering transactions, that particular exchange rate is taken for that particular day. Okay, but in case if we want to use that, we can enable this checkbox. In case if we don't want to use that and we want to manually enter the exchange rate, then we have to check or uncheck this checkbox. What some organizations or companies do is, they have a defined exchange rate with their banks. Okay, they have a you can say a contract with the bank that the exchange rate would be so and so for a particular period, irrespective of the current exchange rate. Okay, so in that case we don't need to check this checkbox. We'll be manually entering the exchange rates on a you can say on a periodic basis. Okay, is that fine?
Yes.
Similarly, whether we want to use worldwide support for phone numbers formatting, different countries have different numbering formats for phones, right? So some of them have dash between 3 digits, some of them have brackets, some of them have comma. So in case if we want to use that, we can check this checkbox, so that depending on the country or depending on the formatting, that is defined, and in case if we don't use that format, the system will prompt us that we have to use that particular numbering format. Similarly, inline editing. Are you aware of what is inline editing?
No.
Okay. So for example, if I go to a list of maybe customers, okay, I'll open that. I'll also open the list of some of the transactions, say purchase orders. Okay, so if I have enabled inline editing, what that means is, let this list open up. Okay, so here we have the list of customers, right? So what these particular inline editing does is, if we go to the list of a particular entity or transaction, here you get the option to edit it on the line itself. Okay, I don't need to open or I click on this edit and make the changes. There are some fields, not all, but some fields which can be edited in this line itself. Okay, wherever you see this small pencil icon, so for example ID, phone, or say sales rep, web address, these fields can be edited in the list itself. You don't need to click on edit, open it, and then change or do the required changes. Okay, so for example, for this thing I want to enter the phone number here, I can enter it accordingly. I don't need to open that, edit it, and make the required changes. So wherever you see this pencil icon, you will be able to do that. So wherever you don't see the pencil icon, those fields are not available for inline editing. Only the fields where you see this small pencil icon are available for inline editing. Same would be for transactions as well. Okay, so wherever you see this pencil icon, so currently you can see that only memo field is available for inline editing. You will not be able to change the status or the number or any other thing apart from it. In case if you don't want to have that inline editing on this particular list, you can just click on that button, and accordingly the inline editing will not be available. Okay, so now you could see that the inline editing is off for this particular list, and you cannot even change the memo now. Are you okay with the inline editing? What do you mean
Yes.
by inline editing? Okay,